Hi, this is Wally with Louisiana Worm Farmer. Today we're going to be going over how to hatch out and raise your European Nightcrawler worm cocoons. Here we have a bag of 800 plus and the bedding with the cocoons. That's the way we ship them out there. We have 2.5 quarts of shredded cardboard. We have two 4-quart containers of moist peat moss. Now, this peat moss has been sieved down to about 3/16 of an inch wire mesh, and then we put non-chlorinated water in with it, get it moist but not too wet. You want it to where you can squeeze it really hard and you get 1 or 2 drops out of it. That's about the moisture content you want. I like to let it sit for about a week so that way it stabilizes it and gets it ready for your worms. In a 10-gallon container I get from Home Depot, some water mixing container. This is what I use. So what I'll do is we're going to move on to one that we've already poured out our content. We can speed it up a little bit, that helps us. So what I have here is going to be the 8 quarts of moist peat moss with the worm cocoons dumped in it, and you can see the worm cocoons here. Same amount. I have 800 plus in here. So that gives you an idea of what it's going to look like in there. The moisture content, don't squeeze it with your worm cocoons in there, be squishing them. Then we'll take our 2.5 quarts of shredded cardboard, and newspaper works well too. So we'll just mix it in there and make a good mixture with it. The cardboard is going to absorb moisture, so if it's a little bit too wet, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But that's going to get you started up there. I like to put the cardboard in it. You don't have to, but it gives them some starter. The bacteria and all can start working on that and breaking it down and getting it ready, and that makes really good compost. That along with your melons, apples, bananas, anything you have that you can throw in there that they like. That's going to break down and make you some beautiful vermicompost for your garden. So this is what we have here. So what we'll do with that is we'll go ahead and get a little moisture, a little dry on this, since it's been sitting there and the newspaper's been added to it. I've got a garden hose here with a mister on it. So we have just a little moisture in there. Just a little bit. We're not going to try to soak it down. They'll take just decent moisture. They don't have to be drowned. Alright, so we have them there. We'd like to mix them up, a little moisture in there. We might spray them once more. We'll see. So you can see the moisture clinging to my hands a little bit. That's what you want. You don't want it sopping wet, but you want to check it kind of often, especially with the dry newspaper and cardboard in there. It's going to absorb some of that moisture. Some people will soak it so it's wet, and that's not a bad idea. I just prefer not to, because I can add water. It's hard to take it away. So there we go, and we're going to set that up. That's all you need. And I'll take that with, usually I add a little bit of, I've got here some worm chow. We can sell this, but we mix ours ourselves with some commercial grade to help kind of thin it out. So we got about a tablespoon here, and we're just going to put a tablespoon in there, and we're going to take that and I'm just going to kind of work it into the soil, just a little bit on the top part of it. It's going to get your bacteria and everything growing. It's going to give the worm, the cocoons there, it's going to, they'll sense the food, the moisture, everything just right, and them jokers will start hatching out. Within about a month, you ought to start seeing some little worms in there. Sometimes it takes 42 days before they really start hatching out. You'll see them really start hatching. Little small worms, they're going to be no more than about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch long. It's really cool to watch when you can see them. Sometimes you can see the cocoons on top, and you'll see them, they'll start off with a green color, and as they age and get ready to start hatching out, you'll see them, they'll be a brown color. So anyway, that's your starter bin right there. So put your little cover on. I like to take just a bubble wrap, 1 inch or bigger. It just gives it some air space. I'll lay it on top. It can be colored or clear. If it's clear and you want to keep it in a dark area, I usually take me a little piece of cardboard here and I just lay on top, and that kind of keep them dark. And with the moisture, you can check the moisture once a week or so right now at this point. Keep it damp. You can mix it up. It's not going to hurt them. And cover it. Come back a week later, check it again. I like to, sometimes as I get ready to maybe close to 30 days or so, get a apple, quarter it, and put you a quarter of an apple, maybe in 4 spots here, right up under the top, and the worms start migrating and getting right around there, the little worms. And as you pull that apple out, you'll see the worms all around it. And as they start hatching out, they'll get more and more around there. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable, educational. Great thing for kids to get involved with. So order yourself some cocoons from us, Louisiana Worm Farmer on Facebook, and we'll get those jokers shipped right out to you. We sell them on eBay. You can see us on there, Louisiana Worm Farmer as well. And until then, happy worm farming.